No matter where you set your boat in, and no matter where you are in vibrational relationship to what you really want, in the moment that you turn and go with the current, you begin to feel the ease of the current now taking you. Now think about this emotional guidance scale that some of you are aware of. We've been talking about it for a while. So when you're really going with the flow, you are in the state of allowing. When you are going against the flow, you're in the state of resistance. Going with the flow is your perception of freedom. Going against the flow is your perception of not freedom. The better you feel you're going with the flow, the worse you feel you're going against the flow. So we talk about this emotional scale and how on the worst feeling end of it is that feeling of depression, which is really a perception that I am powerless, that something is happening or about to happen or has happened that I cannot control. And as I focus upon it, I can hardly get a breath. As you move up the emotional scale, revenge is an improvement over that feeling of depression. It is. Well, if you've ever been depressed and you got really mad, you know you felt better. At least in your rage, you can breathe. And in your depression, you cannot. And that is because there is less resistance in revenge or rage. Less resistance still in anger. Less resistance still in overwhelmment or frustration. Less resistance still in hopefulness or believing or knowing. Less resistance still in love and appreciation and joy. In other words, no matter where you are along this emotional scale, the more you are allowing yourself to be who you are constantly in the state of becoming, the better you feel. And the more you are resisting it, the worse you feel. So as we talk to you about positive emotion, and we and others have been doing it for a very long time, many of you become guarded about the way you feel. We hear you say, cancel, cancel. You try to suck your thoughts back before law of attraction gets hold of them and brings something into your experience that you do not want. And we're wanting you to understand that, yes, of course, it is better for you if you feel joyful than if you feel despair. Of course, it is better for you if you feel hope than if you feel fear. Of course, it is better for you if you are believing something than if you are doubting something. Of course, in the long run, it is much better for you. But no matter where you set your canoe in along this emotional scale, in the moment that you turn and go with the flow, you're going to begin to feel the ease of the current carrying you. And further, and this is the most important thing that we want you to take from this gathering today, in the moment that you turn in the direction of the flow, if you will relax, some of you call it surrendering, if you will relax and stop the struggle, the flow will carry you to who you are and what you want. So the way it has been working, you came into this physical body from non-physical energy, and the variety of your environment, the contrast, if you will, causes you to give birth to constant rockets of desires. And in the moment that that clarification is born from you, source energy, who knows that no one would know more clearly than you, standing right there living at what you want, source energy who trusts you and knows your worthiness, knows that you should know, even if you are the one-celled organism, your preference is known by source and followed. So as that rocket shoots out of you, source literally rides that rocket, becomes that vibration. And the result of all of that life that you're living is that this magnificent accumulation of preferences is amassing on your behalf. Nice to know, isn't it? We lovingly call it your vibrational escrow. In other words, it's all the stuff that your life has caused you to say you want, that source has wholeheartedly agreed with, embraced, and become. Now, because that non-physical part of you is over there so powerfully pulsing that which you have caused that non-physical part of you to become, there's this powerful energy stream. That's what's causing this current. On your planet, the current is caused by gravity as the water is flowing downhill. And so you get the sense of the power of the flow. And we're wanting you to understand that this current is called by source, always calling you to that furthermost place that you have become. So when you say, I want to fulfill my purpose, that's what you're talking about. You're talking about of course, getting into the flow that you intended prior to coming forth into this body. But do you know that you are continuing to create from this vantage point? You didn't say, oh, from non-physical, I was an angel, and I made all of the decisions about everything that I would be, and I set them forth, and now I'm in this body. I've got to find the clues, and I've got to follow the path of that which was decided by me or someone else long before I got here. And we say, nothing could be further from what you intended as the creative genius that you are. You did not come forth to fix a world that is broken. It isn't. You didn't come forth to make up for lost time. You haven't lost any time. You didn't come forth to compensate for some sort of unworthiness. There isn't any of that within you. You came forth for the sheer joy of having exposure to experience that would give birth to new desires within you. And you knew from that non-physical vantage point that the larger part of you, the non-resistant part of you, would flow with the idea and would be the signal that would call you forth. So going with the flow, the operative word or the sensation that you're wanting to reach for to determine whether you're going with the flow or against it, is that when you go with the flow, you have sensations of relief. When you're going against the flow, it's the opposite feeling. Jerry and Esther have been noticing this week as they've been, so joyful, doing their work, working on a new book, editing tapes, in a lovely park and beautiful trees, taking walks by a stream, listening to the birds. They have been in a tuned in, tapped in, turned on mode for days and days and days. And from this feeling of near connection all the time, the slightest little compliment just sends them into orbit. The slightest little bird chirping outside their window just puts them over the edge. The music that they hear through their stereo system gives them orgasms. The sensation of ecstasy, they did not realize how on the verge of it they were until one thing after another is taking them over the top. And so what we're saying is, as they are already in a really good feeling place, when they turn and go with the flow, oh boy, does it feel good. In other words, when you go with the flow after having been going with the flow really, really feels good. But if you are in despair and you turn and go with the flow, it's not ecstasy, it's not bouncing off the wall enthusiasm, it's not joyous rapture, but it sure feels better than what you were just doing. And friends, here's the thing that we want you to get, more than all other things put together. Have we said that 5 or 10 times already? This is the thing. No, this is the thing. No, it's this. No, it's this. This is it. This really is it. This is the thing. You're going to want to write this down. This is the most important thing that you will ever acknowledge anytime, anywhere. I am where I am. Good, wasn't it? I am where I am. So what does it matter where I am when from where I am I have the ability to go anywhere I want to be? Anywhere I want to be. It only feels urgent or awful to say I am where I am if you don't understand or believe that from where you are, you can get to wherever you want to be. I am where I am. And from where I am, as I turn in the direction of that which I've become, and I relax and go with the flow, I can get to wherever I want to be from wherever I am, no exceptions. The call of source, when you are already in joy, sends shivers up your spine. It makes your body ripple with exhilaration when you hear the call of source from your already place of appreciation. But when you hear the call of source from despair, it sounds like revenge. And when you hear the call of source from revenge, it sounds like anger, and then less anger, and then frustration, overwhelmment, and then hoping, and then believing, and then knowing. In other words, the call of source is a relative thing because you're hearing it from your vantage point, you see. And as you begin to understand that I don't have to figure it all out, and I don't have to figure out everything about what I want forevermore, and I don't have to understand even how I got here, all of that is irrelevant. The only thing I have to do is somehow find a way to turn in the direction of the flow. And how might I do that? By thinking a thought and seeing if it feels a little better. By thinking a thought and seeing if it feels a little worse. And as you deliberately think and feel and think and feel and think and feel, You're going to begin to catch the vibe of it. You're going to begin to feel the vibration of that which is natural to you. And friends, when you begin to let the current take you, the leverage that going with the flow gives you. Because now you've tapped into all of these universal resources. Now your timing is right. Your agility is right. Your flexibility is right. Your clarity is right. Now things occur to you at just the right moment. You'll get an impulse or an idea to call someone, and it will be at the precise moment that they're there ready to receive you. You'll step into your traffic just at the time when it is flowing the best, in the way that will cause you to sync up with other drivers that are a vibrational match to who you are and what you really want. You'll rendezvous with thoughts and people and places and situations and circumstances and events in an unbelievable pattern of well-being. In other words, when you go with the flow, you have no idea the degree of sophisticated alignment that is set into motion on your behalf. When we talk about this vibrational escrow that's being held for you, we cannot even begin to describe the precision with which all glorious future experiences are being orchestrated and lined up for you. In other words, well-being abounds and it's got your name on it. And when you allow yourself to relax and go with the flow, does this universe have the ability to deliver the goods to you? And even before the manifestation, being in that flow is mighty nice. Jerry and Esther have noted as they edit the weekly tapes and CDs that it feels to them as if the same group is just moving from city to city to city to city to city. It's like the next gathering just picks up where the last one left off. There's just this steady, fabulous expansion. And so it is our promise to you that today, together, we will take thought beyond that which it has been before. You are so much more non-physical energy than you are physical clumps. And the chorus that is gathered for this meeting is beyond your physical comprehension. Anything you want, whether it is a personal interest, something for your world, something for a friend, something globally, anything that you want is possible. So as you came to this gathering with the intention of expanding your awareness, contributing some of what you know, getting some answers to some of the questions that have been pulsing within you, becoming part of the larger vibrational mix, feeling the energy of the group, tasting the sweet energy of source and non-physical, focusing your thoughts as we move from subject to subject, and feeling your subtle, gentle, steady movement up the emotional scale. As we see you collectively, we can, if we focus, acknowledge you in your individual clumps of flesh on your individual chairs. And we can feel the individuality of you if we try hard to sort you out. Or we can feel you as the physical human who is the extension of non-physical, and we can feel the closer combining of you and you as we focus there. Or we can feel you in the collective consciousness that you have become as a group as we have focused here today. And of course, that's our favorite, especially at the end of the day, because as you listen and feel and listen and feel, what happens to you is you come more and more, just by virtue of your association with your environment, into vibrational alignment with who you really are, so that the well-being of who you are becomes the pervasive vibration within you. And what that does for you, not only providing a satisfying, good feeling moment in time, but it gives you a new starting point from which the things that you've been asking for begin to flow into your experience. Our greatest wish for you is that you could, in this moment, feel the power and the value of who you are and where you are.